Hi, I'm Mary Jo. Welcome to my home. It's not really my home. I am at MI Builders, and I am with Rick Hart, who has been a representative for MI Builders for how many years?
9 years.
9 years.
9 years, about 4 days ago.
Oh, great. What we're going to talk about today is not only MI Builders, but why MI Builders and what makes them different. Most buyers walk in a house and say they love the kitchen, but you're buying so much more. So we're going to go behind the walls story, and Rick is going to tell us about MI. Rick, thank you so much for letting us come in. It's really a pleasure. Love the cabinets, love the kitchen. Everybody loves a kitchen, but there's more than just a beauty. So tell me, you've been with MI 9 years. What made you choose MI to work with?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. This is really awesome.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. Birthday boy.
We won't say how old I am. Well, actually, I've been in the industry, actually been selling new construction for 23 years, my 23rd year. And before that, I was a drafter, a commercial drafter and residential drafter. My last company, actually coming to MI Homes, I really knew nothing about MI Homes. My VP of sales came over here, invited me to come over. And I said, yeah, I'll follow you. And didn't really know anything. I didn't do any research. I just wanted to follow him. And I knew from day one that I had made the right choice.
And why was that? What stood out to you?
It's just the quality of the homes, the differences in the homes. Every home was different. You know, when you go into this home, it was different than this home. It was different than this home. So all the architecture was definitely different, even from the outside of the homes. The stonework, the stone address stones, the English eaves that we put instead of the box eaves. Just everything from a residential standpoint, for me, it just spoke quality right from the very beginning.
What I find really interesting is that sometimes the photos all look alike, but when you walk into a home, you can tell the difference. This is not a plastic tract home. National builders build boom, 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 boom. MI is, you are a national builder.
Correct.
But they have real quality. These are real wood. They're not plastic, they're not plywood slammed together. This is real stone. We have real floors. And so much of what buyers don't see it until they've lived in a house a while, the plastic homes aren't so great.
Well, not only that, Mary Jo, but even when you open up the drawers, you've got dovetail drawers. You know, right away you see the quality of the drawers. So they're not
soft close.
They're not stapled together. They're dovetail drawers. So the little things actually make a difference. The biggest thing for me, especially going through drafting school and understanding about how homes are designed, a lot of the architects like to give you that front look, or the front of the home looks really awesome, but you get inside and it's super narrow inside, so you get the nice look on the outside.
Or awkward layouts.
Right.
Yes.
So when you come in our home, one of the things that we focus on and concentrate is the depth of our homes. You can actually have two people in the kitchen who can actually work together.
Yes.
And
yeah.
right,
okay.
exactly. So you can
and then we just throw it in the oven.
That's correct. You can see the spatial relationship here. It's just amazing.
The floor plan here is very comfortable. So you can have people here at the island. You can be cooking. It works. I have seen some where they have the refrigerator over there and the sink over here, and I don't understand those plans all the time.
One of the biggest things that I noticed right away were the amount of options or enhancements or upgrades, however you want to call it, in our homes. It's way more than you'll see with any other national builder.
So you are semi-custom.
Well, we'll get to that point in just a second.
Okay.
Because what I tell my buyers, for example, if you take this center island, nice center island, but I have an option to invert it and have an extended island where you can have chairs on both sides and have up to 7 people actually coming up to your countertop here. So that's one of the options, but there's many options. What I tell my buyers, we have so many options, it feels like you're actually buying a custom home without customizing it.
That's very smart of the builder, and it's also a lot of planning. So all of those pieces actually do work together.
And it's also worked for me because it took me about a year to learn all that. So.
Well, it's worked for the buyer too, because they have no idea what you're talking about in the beginning, and it takes a few sessions to get there.
So I get really excited about that, probably overly excited, because I've worked with other national builders where you just boxed in, these are the options, but I'd like to do this. No, you have to stay with us. Whereas we're the opposite. Oh, you want that option? Great. Yeah, we have 4 different bathroom layouts.
Wow.
You have a deep soaking tub option. You have an isolated standalone tub option. So we have walk-in shower options. You have bypass doors. You have frameless glass doors in your shower. So it's endless what you can do, and it feels like a custom home. But speaking of semi-custom, yes, and that's the other part that separates us from all the other national builders, that we do a little bit of customizing, which is great for me because I get to go back to my drafting experience
and put it all together.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It has to make sense for the builder, in terms of, hey, if a buyer were to cancel in the middle of a build, can we sell that custom option to somebody else without losing money? So we're very careful about the customs that we do, but our buyers are happy because of it.
Absolutely. I'm going to go a little deeper.
All right.
MI is Green Pass. So do you want to explain to the buyers what Green Pass means?
Yeah, basically ResNet, which is a residential energy services network.
Right.
They created a
scale.
A scale, right. And then they hire a third-party company basically to come in and make sure that we are adhering to the energy scale, which is the home energy rating system. So the way that...
Which is a HERS score.
Right. So the way that works, we do a negative pressure test or a blower test on the home, and then we rate the score, or we provide a score at the very end. We have 2 scores. One is the home energy rating score, which the national average, I believe the score is about 57 for energy efficient homes. Our homes are coming in almost every single time below 57, and in some cases in the 40s.
That's great.
That's pretty amazing.
That's great.
We also have an air change per hour score.
Yes.
The average score is typically about 3. Our homes are coming in about 1.5. So the lower the score, the better the home is. Our homes are coming in consistently at about 1.5%.
That's great. Which also means much of this is due to insulation.
That's correct.
Insulation is really the first step to make a home far more efficient. And yes, every builder has some degree of insulation, but it depends on the kind of insulation, how tight they want it to be, if they put it everywhere. Oh, and windows. What most people don't realize that around every window and door is a cavity that has to be insulated. So it depends on how the builder does that, how tight those windows and doors
That's
are.
a really good point. And I'll tell you this, a lot of buyers come in here and they'll ask us what kind of windows we use. And I always tell them it's clear.
Okay.
Clear windows.
And they don't know the name?
No, that was a joke, by the way.
Oh,
we use
clear windows. Okay, I lost that. Silly me. Okay.
No, but that question does come up a lot. And my first reaction is there's a flag. There's a reason why they're asking that question. It's either because they're very comfortable with Anderson or some of the names out there, Marvin, Pella, or they've had an issue with their windows. And 9 times out of 10, it's because they've had an issue with their windows.
Okay.
So talking about the energy code, doing the blower test and negative pressure test, we know for a fact when they move into that home, those windows are not leaking.
They're tight.
They're very tight. And not only that, behind that cavity, as you were talking about, they're all foam insulated.
Right.
So that's
which is forever.
That's a big deal because back in the day, they would just put in the typical bad insulation in there. Now we got the foam insulation.
I have a 1941 house, and when we changed, there was nothing in the cavity.
Right, and there's that, right? And you felt that wind coming, and when that sub-zero comes in, you felt that breeze coming through.
Yes, you do,
So,
and it's not like a summer breeze.
Right. So the energy code changed in 2014, the building code changed, and our typical homes probably went up $10,000 to $12,000 because of these codes and these changes. And so it's funny when I got somebody coming up from Texas go like, why are your homes so expensive? Because we have a thing called energy codes and building codes that we have to adhere to. So it's really fun to talk about because when you buy a home from us, these homes are going to be tight. But you have to have an air-to-air exchange in the home so the house can actually breathe.
Which means you have a healthier, cleaner home. So people who have bronchial problems or anything like allergies, these homes have very, very little dust and particles in the air.
That's correct. And the other thing you're not seeing, where you saw back in the days, you're not seeing condensation on the windows anymore. So even in sub-zero days.
Remember Little Women? And the girls are there and it's all frosted. My first thought was they need new windows.
But it did look pretty cool though.
It looks good, but it's not good.
Yeah.
So, and then you have a promotion going on.
Well, we do. It's a little bit different than, say, some of the other communities that we're in. We're actually in closeout mode right now.
Okay,
So
explain what that means.
yeah, basically, when we get down to our last 5, 6, 7 homes
In a community.
in a community, yeah, we just put quick moving homes on those remaining lots. So you don't have the opportunity to actually customize your home anymore. Or put
It's already done for you.
We've already picked out all the options, all the
And you don't have to wait months for
ingredients.
availability.
That's correct. So we have a couple of promotions going on. So basically, when we have a home that's basically 60 days prior to close,
Okay.
we have a nice financing promotion. If you use MI Financial, essentially it's either going to be a 4.875% rate. That's
Can you say that loud?
4.875% FHA or 5.875 conventional. Okay.
Hallelujah.
That's on select homes. When we get homes that are closer to closing, we'll be able to do the same promotion. We've also got $5,000 in closing costs if they use our lender.
Wow.
On top of that.
That's a huge perk.
And then one more promotion that we're doing right now, at least for the next 30 days, is $15,000 in flex money. So they can take that flex money and use it towards the price of the home, or they can take part of that money and use it as part of a buy down.
That is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely so phenomenal. So for the people who are saying I'm waiting for rates to come down, they just did.
That's
So,
right.
Rick, thank you so much for
my
being
pleasure.
here today. This is Mary Jo. Please check out my other videos and you will hear more from MI Builders. And if you're interested, give me a call. I'll show you some.